Hi, everybody. I'm Ross the Boss. I'm here with Dr. Dan Ratner. Our guest today is three-time NBA champion, and he's also the all-time rebound leader for the Miami Heat. Let's welcome Udonis Haslem. Udonis, thanks for coming on. I'm excited to have you on.
Hey Ross, how you doing, bro? I'm glad to be here.
Doing
Appreciate you having me.
We're thrilled to have you, Udonis. You're a long time fixture in the NBA, and I remember you in your college days. I picked Florida to go to the championship that year, and they did. You
You
and
throw to
LeBron.
have me even with that Cleveland Cavaliers shirt on? You sure?
You want me to take it off for you?
I don't know. I'm just
Well,
saying.
it's a
Yeah.
LeBron shirt.
Ross, what you think? What you think, Ross? I
I'm
don't
not a
know. Can
big
we trust
Cleveland
him? Can we
fan.
trust him?
As you know, Udonis, we'll talk about it later, but I got to work with Dwyane Wade many years when he was on the Tonight Show, and I've
Who
always
the hell is
supported the
that? Who
Miami
the
Heat
hell is
after
that?
that. But we'll give him one time he can wear the Cleveland cap shirt on. Next
Listen,
time,
I don't even know that
Udonis.
guy who you just named. Who is that guy?
I
Who the
don't
hell is
know.
that?
he's some
Yeah,
guy. I don't know. We'll
Some
talk
dude.
about him a
yeah,
little later.
yeah, yeah.
So Udonis,
Funny.
we wanted to start with talking about your experience in the bubble because we
hmm
people joke about it like it was a minimum security prison or like a desert island, but you were just on for so long. What was it like for you?
Um, I think I took the mental approach early. You know what I mean, and as a leader, I wanted my guys to understand, the approach that we had to take early. I felt like the bubble was going to be, basketball was going to be the last thing that we were going to have to focus on in the bubble. I think mental health is real; it's very important. I don't think you can get anything accomplished if your mental health is not right. You know what I'm saying? If you're not mentally, prepared to go out there and do your job, you're definitely not going to be able to do it. So just let my guys know, early on the mental approach that we had to take as far as beating the bubble before we can actually step out on the basketball court and win basketball games. And that's the approach that I want to take. I made a comment to Spo that I've been to Europe, before, so I can definitely handle the bubble. So, I was just saying to
Yeah,
Spo, just let him know that, mentally, if I need to tap into whatever situation I need to tap into to get a job done, that I can do that.
makes a lot of sense.
Was the food that bad? I heard players were Instagramming how bad the food was. They were complaining like crazy. Was it that bad?
You can.
Was it like a state prison? Was it they were
It
compared it
was a
to a
little rough.
prison?
It was a little rough early on. It was a little rough early on. It got better. You know what I'm saying? But this is something that nobody has ever experienced. Nobody has ever been a part of. You can't prepare for it. You know what I mean? So I think what they did is what the NBA did do was a good job of listening to the Players Association, working back and forth with us to make it better as it went along.
And it worked. Donis, it worked. You guys went to the finals, so for you guys, it was a great experience. I would sleep away from my family for 3 months if I got to play in the NBA championship. I'm sure anybody would. You got to be out of your mind not
I
to.
mean, we pride ourselves on being mentally tough, hardworking, and I think all those things really came into play in the bubble. It's easy to check out mentally in the bubble, and it's easy to just get bored and not feel like practicing, get up and become a zombie and an energy vampire. So the things that we did well, we just focused on continuing to use those things to our strength in the bubble.
Now, you grew up in Liberty, Florida, which is a lot different than South Beach. I mean, I presume it's a little different in Liberty. And you got to play your high school ball there. You actually went to school in the University of Florida, and then you played your whole
Mhm.
NBA career in Miami. How is that? I mean, not many, no players I know have had that experience. Tell me about it.
Oh, oh man, it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. I'm not even going to say anything bad about it. You know what I mean? The things that have challenged me, I've learned from them, and they've made me better. Growing up in Liberty City, you don't see outside of Liberty City. You only see what's around you. I tell people every day I'd never been to South Beach until I got in the NBA. That's a true story. I didn't even know it was on the other side of the bridge. The beach that we would attend was Hollywood Beach. South Beach, I didn't know what was going on over there. So, for me, I've had the opportunity to show kids something different than what they're around every day and show them that there's different opportunities and there's more to life than just what's on your block.
Are you still friends? I mean, do you still see all the friends that you grew up with? They ask you for tickets? Are
Yeah, I
they
still talk. Yeah, for sure. I still keep it. We can't keep in touch with everybody. I've had friends that have made mistakes that have cost them their life. I have friends that have made mistakes that have cost them time in jail. And then some people you just go separate paths with. But I definitely still got a solid group of guys that I keep connected with, and we check on each other, and we're all doing well.
Does this factor into kind of your mental toughness, your background? I think it usually does, but I'm just curious if that sits with you when you're out there on the court or you're trying to be calm in the bubble. The experiences you had, I'm sure you rely on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was part of my comment that I made before is that I was in Europe. People don't. I was taping my own ankles, like. You know what I mean? Like this is a cakewalk from taping your own ankles. Mind you don't know what the hell you're doing when you're taping your own ankles. You're cutting off your blood supply. One leg is alive, the other leg you can't feel it. You know what I'm saying? So like over there, yeah, for me over there it was trial and error. I learned how to drive a stick over there. I crashed it. I got arrested. I mean, everything was trial and error for me in Europe. So the
Whoa, whoa,
bubble,
whoa,
I
whoa!
mean,
You got arrested
bring it
doing
on,
what?
bring it on.
You got
Oh,
arrested doing what? And going back,
in
I
Europe,
heard you say
in
something.
Europe, in Europe. Yeah, I had an incident where I got arrested. It was a traffic situation.
Okay, no worries.
I left the scene of the crime. I mean, it was he's speaking French, I'm speaking English, and we ain't getting nothing accomplished. So the name of the car, the team that I played for was on the car. I left the car at the scene. They wouldn't know where to find me. And I thought they were just gonna come and like, hey, what happened? Write me a ticket. They took me to jail. Nobody want to go to jail. You don't want to go to jail in France, especially if you don't speak English.
Especially if you're American. I agree with you 100%. It's not
Just
a good
especially
idea.
if you don't speak English.
No. Did you learn French at all? Did you learn how to speak French?
Nah, a little bit. They tried to give me French classes, but once again, I only speak English. Oh, and I'm from Miami, so you throw Spanish in there. That's it. That's just like English down here. But outside of that, like I didn't know. I only spoke English, bro. Like I took a little French classes, and I was like, nah, man, I'm here to play basketball. Y'all signed me to a basketball contract. I just got out of school. I'm not going back right now.
Now, I had the pleasure of working with Dwyane Wade. And when I worked with Dwyane on The Tonight Show, I produced all his segments. So when you watched him on The Tonight Show, I was responsible for exactly what happened. He brought your name a lot. He brought your name up a lot as like one of your a good friend. And I just want to ask you, are you guys still good friends? I mean, he hasn't played in a few years. I don't know if you guys still keep in contact.
Oh man, you don't have Instagram, huh, Ross? You don't follow me, Dwyane? You don't follow us, do you?
I do follow a lot of people, and
you don't follow me, huh? You must follow him.
I actually follow you.
Tell the truth. You follow Dwyane, but not
I follow Dwyane, but I started following you this week. That's not true. I am following you guys, but I mean, does he call you? Does he call you like after games?
We just spoke last night. We speak all the time.
Does he still watch the Heat games? Does he still watch?
Yeah.
And how much of a fan is he?
I mean, from a standpoint of a leader, what I'm saying, he's somebody who I can tap into, and he's gonna give it to me straight. He's gonna give it to me from his point of view, but he's also gonna give it to me from a basketball, point of view. So there's two things: there's being a leader, and then there's obviously the basketball point of view of things. Sometimes those things get crossed. As a leader, I have to tell these guys, what's right for them beyond the game of basketball. As a captain of this basketball team, I have to tell these guys what we need to do to get accomplished in the short-term goal on the basketball court to win championships. But my leadership goes beyond that, so people know that. I want these guys to be good men. I want these guys to be successful. I want these guys to save their money and do the right things in their community. So those are the things that me and Dwyane are able to tap in and talk about. He's able to help me, kind of maneuver around with these guys because it is a different generation. And I am tapped in with these guys in the locker room every day. You know what I'm saying? So I understand these guys.
Do you lecture them? Do you talk to them and say, listen, you got to step it up?
These guys don't want lectures. These guys don't want lectures, Ross, man. I mean, I give these guys, I definitely give these guys encouragement, you know what I'm saying? But it's the right way. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be the guy that's always yelling and screaming and arguing. You got to tap in with these guys. You got to know these guys, know their families, know their backgrounds, where they come from, what moves them. And how you can motivate guys. Everybody's motivated differently. And for these guys, what I'm saying, when these guys are coming in, I think a lot of us older guys, the mistake that we make is the first thing we do is we want respect from these guys before we give them respect. And I think that's where we kind of go wrong with this generation. These guys are looking to come in and make a name for themselves. And to get respect, you got to give respect.
Have you figured out? Have you figured out Jimmy Butler yet? He's a great guy. I love watching him play, but off the court, he does some crazy stuff. Have you figured all his ins and outs yet?
What's crazy? Play dominoes and make coffee?
Not that. I mean,
that's Jimmy.
That's Jimmy.
That's what everyone says about him.
I've heard him interviewed many times, O'Don. I've heard him interviewed, and you never know what's going to come out of his mouth. I mean, he's very opinionated and very smart. He's not a dumb guy.
He's very intelligent. He's a very intelligent guy.
And he's fun.
But he's also no nonsense, and he's very He says what he says. He
There
says
you
what he
go.
feels. He says what he feels. I don't think anything's wrong with that. I'm kind of that guy too. I appreciate that. I respect that.
I do too.
And you know what I'm hearing from you, Udonis, and this kind of your reputation is one of a major part of Miami's culture there. And I'm hearing how you adjust to so many different types of players and even a different generation. And I wondered if you could talk about the culture of the Miami Heat and how you feel that you fit into it, because it seems that you've played a big part and you've been there for a long time.
I mean, you have to evolve, and I think, and both sides have to understand that. You know, when new people come into this culture, they have to evolve, and you know, when new people come into this culture and a new generation comes in, I have to evolve, and I think it has to happen on both sides for it to work. The core of what we do here is not going to change. You know, we're going to work hard, we're going to hold you accountable, and we always going to push to win championships. That doesn't change. You know, and that's a little different around the NBA. So, you know, when you come into this organization and you know you see how we do things, and you know it's too hard, and you know this is not what you signed up for. You're gonna have me right there in your ear, pushing you, or pulling you, or kicking you. However you got to get there, I'm gonna get you there. You know, because I embody everything it means, you know, to be, you know, a Miami Heat player, and to be a champion here. So, you know, these guys respect that about me. They understand that about me, and you know, I bring it every day.
You already motivated me to change my shirt, and that was early in the interview. So
that was a threat, man. That wasn't a motivation, man.
It motivated me. It motivated me.
I was telling you to change that shirt.
Yeah, I was trying to get it right. So I was telling.
I want a Udonis Haslem shirt. If you send me a Udonis Haslem shirt, I'll wear it many, many times on this show.
Okay, I heard it.
You heard it first
Michael
here.
Michael Lilsack, we calling you out. Make that work, dog.
Michael's the best. Hey, so Udonis, I have a question for you. I thought about this when it happened. The Brooklyn Nets have 3 superstars on their team. Okay, they compare them to your superstars you had, Wade, James, and Bosh. Do you see the same comparison? How would you compare their team to your team? What's the comparison?
I haven't really watched them. You know, I know they've been winning basketball games. I know they're exciting. I know they're putting up a lot of points. One thing is, this is not a knock on them, but we were higher up defensively in our ratings. I think they're the last, if not close to the last, defensive team in the NBA. I think, you know, we had our run. You know, we were top 5 or at least top 10 for sure, defensively in the NBA throughout our runs. We were able to get stops, and we were able to get stops consistently. So that was one difference, you know, that I can definitely point out, you know, between, you know, us and them. As far as the talent level, you know, I'm not going to compare that. You know, those guys are super talented. You know, they have a good coach. So, you know, we'll see what happens with those guys, but they haven't won championships yet. That's
part of what I was wondering.
The biggest difference, you know, they haven't won the championships yet, to be prepared.
The mental game, I sometimes wonder. And, you know, you saw it when LeBron came over to Miami. I felt like he learned how to win with the Heat. Nothing against LeBron and his ability to win on his own. He's got such great drive. But, you know, being there with Dwyane Wade already, with Pat Riley at the top, that mentality, getting over the hump mentally, I think makes a big difference. So I agree with that.
I think people, you know, really underestimate, you know, what it takes to be a champion, you know, and I think we have this saying is, you know, be a champion or act like a champion before you become a champion. And that's just creating those habits, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Bron was doing everything the right way, but maybe he just needed somebody just to show him a little more, just to help him get over that hump. You know, and sometimes it's not always on the basketball court. You know, sometimes it's about leadership. You know, sometimes it's about how you get the most out of your guys and different things like that. It's all kinds of things that, you know, go into, you know, winning a championship when it comes to basketball in this NBA system.
Now you're a big entrepreneur. I was reading about all the restaurants and all the franchises you own. I'm impressed. You remind me of Magic Johnson, but you're on the East Coast. He's on the West Coast. Tell us about all the things. I mean, I read an article from 4 years ago, but now it's 4 years later. Tell us all the stuff that you're involved with.
First, if I could be as fortunate and as successful as Magic, that'd be amazing. So thank you for that comparison. Hopefully at some point I can reach that level. But, you know, for me, you know, it all started, you know, because I wanted to create jobs for family and friends and my community. You know, I have so many people that I grew up with that don't have the, you know, they don't have the access that I have. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to help these people. And I learned early that giving out cash and giving out money was just crippling to people because it just made them come back. Eventually they'll be back. So, I wanted to figure out a way where I can create opportunities for people to create their own cash flow, be able to grow, take care of their families and just create things like that. So, I just got into different things like Subway. Subway was something that I ate a lot when I was young. I was a chubby kid. So, I ate Subway a lot. That grew into Auntie Anne's because a lot of Subways have Auntie Anne's when you talk about the ones inside Walmart. Starbucks was something that I got into later on in my career because as you get old, like myself, you drink a lot of coffee. So I was starting to drink Starbucks every day. So I got into Starbucks where I became a franchisee for Starbucks. My friend, Dwyane, my buddy, my brother, he and I always talked about doing business together and something that would last in the city of Miami, no matter where he was, no matter where I was. So, we had our opportunity to partner with this restaurant, 800 Degrees Wood Fire Kitchen. It's a franchise and it's something that really started on the West Coast, but we were able to bring it to the East Coast, put our own little finishing touches on it and make it, more geared towards, our followers and, the people that, really live in the areas that we're serving. And then I got into low income housing and affordable homes. That's something that I feel like is real, serious in our community when you talk about gentrification and people being moved around and just having opportunities to, stay where they grew up in their different communities and just have a choice. That's something that I got into. So those are the things I'm involved in. I'm always looking to do more, man. But, everything that I'm involved in, if you hear about it, that's authentic. What I'm saying? It's something that I genuinely care about, or it's a brand that I genuinely have eaten in or drink, or something that I do a lot of.
It seems like you also, you're really committed to helping other people and lifting them up. It's a big part of what it sounds like you do. And I know you have sons,
yeah,
and I know that's part of what you do too. Can you talk about them as athletes? It sounds like they're athletes themselves. What's going on there?
Yeah, they're athletes. My oldest son is at North Alabama. He's an offensive lineman. He's got 2 more years left. He just came off a, crazy season with COVID and everything like that. So, hopefully things get back to normal in college. My 14-year-old is a baseball player. He's attending American Heritage. And then I have a 10-year-old that's a basketball player. So, football, basketball, baseball. They keep me busy. They keep me busy, man. They keep me busy. I'm a fan of them all.
Do you coach them at all? Do you go on the field and play one of these crazy dad coaches you see on TV all the time? Are you one of those guys?
Nah, I motivate them. I don't coach them. I motivate them. My youngest is the only one that plays basketball, and he's so stressed out. If I even look at him about anything that comes to basketball, he just starts to grab his head. So I notice the reaction that they'll have from me. So for the first, I got to be their friend first. Then I can start to manipulate that system a little bit and throw my little nuggets in there. Hey, you might want to try this and try that, but you got to be their friend first, man. It's kind of like this young generation. You got to give respect. That's what I was going to say,
right?
Yeah, it's the same thing with the guys I work with.
And how tall are your sons? I mean, you're 6'8", right?
Yeah. And my 22-year-old, he's about 6'6". My 14-year-old is a good 6'3", 6'4", and my 10-year-old, he's probably my 10-year-old. I don't know how tall he is. He's 10.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
He's in the top percentile for 10-year-olds. I tell you that.
Yeah, and when you came into the NBA and you were 6'8", you were having to guard guys who were like 7-footers, right? I wondered who was your toughest matchup.
Wow. I mean, Dirk. Dirk was ahead of his time. You see guys that are 7 foot, playing like Dirk now. But you talk about that was 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So he was so ahead of his time. It was just that he presented such a different matchup at the power forward position that I don't think nobody had ever seen that.
Yeah, I can imagine a 7-footer who can hit threes like that. I mean, now it's much more common.
Off screens. Yeah, he's running off screens like a guard. I mean, it's just it was unheard of at the time. And fortunately, I was a little ahead of my time, I guess, defensively, because I was one of those smaller guys that, thrived off quickness and strength and different things like that. So when we got in the finals, I presented a different, defensive matchup, against him, and I was able to have some success.
Yeah, and you also, I mean, obviously you have some secret of longevity because you have been in the NBA for a long time. We saw, like, Tom Brady, he's 42, he wins, the Super Bowl, But playing at over 40 in the NBA seems like it would be a different ball of wax. Can you talk about your secret about that?
Man, I got to stay in shape, man. It's at this point, it's a lifestyle. You know, if I take 2 weeks off, I might as well retire. You know, so yeah, no joke, man.
So you're working out every day. Russell Wilson said he spends $1 million a year on his body, and he works out every day except Thanksgiving and Christmas. I mean, is that something you would do? Would you work out 365 days a year, or is that?
I'm pretty close. Pretty close. But yeah. I ain't spending $1 million on my body. I ain't got that kind.
I'll charge you half, Udonis. I'll charge you half.
That kind of bread.
I'll work you out and move to Miami. I'll be your personal coach. How about that?
Well, I don't know, Ross, man. You got to tighten up those arms a little bit.
I'm getting bigger and stronger.
You got to tell me.
Ross the boss is looking
Pat
good.
Riley got all kinds of rules, man. You know,
Yeah.
Pat find me every week, man.
No, let's wrap it up on this, Udonis. I want to know which of our shirts is more offensive. I'm wearing a Cavs shirt, and look at Ross. Look at that. I can't believe you're wearing that.
I'm wearing a Dwyane Wade Miami Heat.
Always yours, Dan. Always yours, Dan.
It won't happen again, Udonis.
First and foremost, that's my brother. No matter how much crap I talk about him, man, I love him to death,
guys,
man. That's my brother. So anytime somebody got my brother jersey on, man, I'm riding with my brother.
Yeah. Well, Udonis, it's been a pleasure having you on, and we would love to have you on again. You know, you're a legend. You really have done some amazing things in your career, all the way back from when you took Florida to the finals with Mike Miller and the 3 championships, and still playing now. You know, with these high level players, it's amazing, and being able to adapt to that other generation. So, thanks so much for coming on, Udonis. We'd love to have you again anytime.
I'd love to have you guys have me again, but don't have that shirt on.
No, I won't.
Appreciate you guys,
It'll
Ross.
never happen.
You can have that same shirt on. Just try the one with the 40 on it. And
I'll get a 40 shirt. I'll love to wear the 40 shirt that has the different colors on it.
We would love that.
Either one, no matter
That's
which one.
That's the one I want.
Get the 4-0, baby. Get the 4-0.
I'll get the 4-0. I promise you. Thanks, Udonis.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for coming.
Bye.